Authority is not what you think it is. Most people believe that to have authority, you must raise your voice, occupy the most space, or carry a title of power. They believe authority is something you do. They are wrong. Real, raw psychological authority is not an action. It is a state of being. It is an invisible frequency that emanates from a person who has achieved absolute internal order. In the next hour, we are going to dismantle the mechanics of emotional authority. We are going to explore why some individuals can walk into a room and, without saying a single word, command the respect of everyone present. We will look into the dark corridors of the human subconscious to understand why the mind instinctively bows to the person who cannot be moved. If you have ever felt overlooked, if you have ever felt that your words carry no weight, or if you find yourself constantly reacting to the moods of others, it is because you lack emotional authority. You are a satellite orbiting other people's planets. Today, that ends. You are about to become the center of your own universe. You are about to build your inner citadel. To understand authority, you must first understand the law of social gravity. In physics, the object with the greatest mass has the strongest gravitational pull. In human psychology, the individual with the most stable internal frame becomes the center of gravity for everyone else. Every social interaction is a battle of frames. A frame is simply the way you perceive the world. When two people meet, their frames collide. Usually one person's frame is weak, reactive, and seeking approval. The other person's frame is solid and self-contained. Subconsciously, we are all searching for stability. We live in a world of chaos, and the human brain is hardwired to look for an anchor. When you remain completely calm, unreactive, and certain of your own reality, you become that anchor. People don't just like you, they need you. They begin to mirror your body language, they lower their voice to match yours, and they subconsciously wait for your signal to know how to feel. This is the secret of emotional authority. You do not compete for power. You simply exist with such immense internal weight that power naturally flows toward you. A high-status frame is built on 3 pillars: silence, stillness, and non-validation. Pillar 1, the strategic silence. Most people speak because they are afraid of the vacuum. They feel that if they aren't talking, they aren't being heard. But the person of authority knows that words are expensive. Every word you speak should be a deliberate choice. When you use fewer words, the value of each word increases exponentially. Silence is the ultimate display of comfort. If you can sit in total silence with someone and not feel the urge to fix it, you have won the frame. You have shown that your internal peace is not dependent on their validation. Pillar 2, the stillness of the apex. Watch a predator in the wild. A lion doesn't fidget. It doesn't adjust its clothing or tap its feet. Fidgeting is a leak of nervous energy. It signals to everyone around you that you are uncomfortable in your own skin. Emotional authority requires physical stillness. When you move with purpose. When you sit like a statue. This stillness signals to the primitive part of the human brain that you are a person of high status who is not threatened by anything in the environment. Pillar 3, the refusal to validate. This is the hardest pillar to master. We are social animals programmed to seek approval. We nod when people talk. We laugh at jokes that aren't funny, and we apologize for things we didn't do. The man of authority does none of this. He listens, but he does not perform. He does not give away his approval for free. If you want his smile, you must earn it. If you want his agreement, you must prove your point. By withholding validation, you make your attention the most valuable asset in the room. The greatest threat to your authority is your own reflex to respond. Most people live in a state of perpetual ping-pong. Someone insults them, they insult back. Someone praises them, they beam with pride. Someone pressures them, they explain themselves. In every one of these instances, they have surrendered their sovereignty. They have allowed an external stimulus to dictate their internal state. Understand this. Whenever you react to someone, you are acknowledging that they have power over you. You are admitting that their words or actions are significant enough to move your needle. This is the reactionary trap. Those who seek to control or diminish you will intentionally try to trigger a reaction. They want to see you get angry. They want to see you get defensive. And they want to see you stumble. Because the moment you do, the hierarchy is established. They are the cause, and you are the effect. Emotional authority is built on being the unmoved mover. You observe the provocation, but you do not absorb it. When someone tries to pull you into their chaos, you simply watch them. You don't ignore them. Ignoring is often a passive-aggressive reaction. You acknowledge them with a cold, neutral clarity. By refusing to enter the trap, you force the other person to deal with the vacuum of your silence. They expected a fight, but they found a wall. In that moment, their confidence evaporates, and your authority solidifies. Authority is not just seen, it is heard. But it is not heard in the volume of your voice. It is heard in the resonance and the pacing. There is a specific acoustic profile to emotional authority that communicates leader to the human brain. The first rule of authoritative speech is the elimination of the upward inflection. Many people, especially when they are nervous or seeking approval, end their sentences on a slightly higher note, as if they are asking a question. This signals submissiveness. It tells the listener that you are subconsciously asking, "Is that okay? Do you agree?" To command authority, you must master the downward inflection. Every statement you make should end on a lower, flatter note. This turns a suggestion into a fact and an opinion into a verdict. It signals that you are not seeking consensus. You are stating reality. The second rule is the pace of importance. High-status individuals do not rush. Rushing is a sign that you don't believe your words are worth the other person's time, so you try to cram them in as fast as possible. When you speak slowly with deliberate pauses, you are signaling that you own the time. You are forcing the world to wait for you. This creates a psychological tension that draws people in. They listen more intently because you are communicating that what you have to say is too valuable to be rushed. In every high-pressure situation, there is a center. Most people are thrown to the edges by the centrifugal force of the conflict. They get caught up in the details, the emotions, and the noise. The person with emotional authority stays in the eye of the hurricane. This is the ability to maintain wide-angle vision while everyone else has tunnel vision. When someone attacks you, their world shrinks to just that attack. Your world, however, remains large. You see the room, you see the observers, you see the long-term consequences, and you see the insecurity behind the attacker's eyes. This perspective allows you to remain heavy. In the world of social dynamics, there are light people and heavy people. Light people are easily moved by a joke, an insult, or a change in the weather. Heavy people are grounded. They have roots that go deep into their own philosophy. To become heavy, you must have a set of internal principles that are more important to you than the opinion of the person standing in front of you. When you are heavy, people can feel your psychological mass. They realize that pushing you is like pushing a mountain. It's not just difficult, it's impossible. And eventually, they stop trying. They stop trying to move you and start trying to align themselves with you. That is the moment your authority becomes absolute. True emotional authority is felt most strongly when you are not doing anything. This is the concept of shadow presence. Most people feel the need to fill every gap in an interaction with a gesture, a smile, or a word. They are terrified of being perceived as empty. But for the man of authority, the void is his greatest ally. When you enter a room, do not seek to be noticed. Seek to be felt. There is a profound difference. The person who seeks to be noticed is performing. They are projecting an image outward, hoping for a specific reaction. This is a low-status behavior because it depends on the audience. The person who is felt is simply occupying their space with such density that the room has to adjust to them. This is achieved through internal anchoring. Instead of focusing your awareness on the people around you, pull your awareness inward. Feel the weight of your own body. Feel the rhythm of your own breath. When your focus is internal, you become a closed circuit. You are no longer broadcasting for approval. You are absorbing the energy of the room. This creates a gravitational well. People will feel a strange urge to look at you, to talk to you, and to win your favor, simply because you are the only thing in the room that isn't moving toward them. You are the only thing that is self-contained. In the animal kingdom, the higher the intelligence of the predator, the longer the gap between stimulus and response. A fly reacts instantly to a shadow. A tiger can wait for hours in total stillness for the perfect moment to strike. In human social dynamics, your response latency, the time it takes for you to react, is the direct measure of your emotional authority. Most people have a response latency of 0. You ask them a question, they answer before you've even finished. You insult them, they snap back instantly. This indicates a nervous system that is on edge, a mind that is easily triggered. It is the hallmark of a subordinate. The master of authority deliberately increases his response latency. When someone speaks to you, even if it is a simple question, pause. Let a second or two of silence hang in the air. This pause does 3 things. It shows that you are thinking, which makes your eventual answer more valuable. It forces the other person to sit in the tension of the silence you've created, which subtly establishes your dominance. It proves that you are in control of your own impulses. By delaying your reaction, you are communicating. I decide when I respond. I decide if your words are worth my energy. This is the ultimate form of selective availability. You are available only on your terms. Emotional authority does not mean being a brick wall. A brick wall can be broken with enough force. Instead, you must become like water. In Aikido, the goal is to use the opponent's momentum against them. Emotional authority works the same way. When someone approaches you with aggression, heat, or disrespect, they are throwing a psychological punch. Most people try to block it by getting aggressive in return, or they let it hit them by becoming defensive. Both are losing strategies. The person of authority uses emotional aikido. When the punch comes, you step aside mentally. You don't get angry, you get curious. You ask a calm, penetrating question. If someone insults you, instead of defending yourself, you look them in the eye and say, "That's an interesting perspective. What made you feel the need to say that right now?" By doing this, you refuse to accept the gift of their anger. You remain cool while they are left stumbling over their own momentum. You have forced them to explain themselves, and in the world of power dynamics, the person who is explaining is the person who is losing. You are the judge. They are the defendant. This shift is invisible, but the loss of status for the aggressor is total and immediate. You cannot fake emotional authority for long. If your inner citadel is built on sand, the first real storm will wash it away. To have true authority, you must have a prime directive, a core philosophy that is more important to you than your life, your comfort, or your reputation. The reason most people are reactive is that they have no North Star. They are drifting. Therefore, every wave that hits their boat feels like a catastrophe. But when you have a mission, when you have a set of non-negotiable standards for yourself, the petty insults and social pressures of the world become background noise. Your authority comes from your integrity. Integrity, in its original sense, means wholeness. You are one piece. You do not have a public face and a private face. You do not change your opinions to fit the crowd. This consistency is terrifying to people who are fragmented and fake. They will call you cold or arrogant, but what they really feel is your solidity. They realize that you cannot be bought, you cannot be bullied, and you cannot be shamed. Once you reach this level of internal integration, emotional authority is no longer a tool you use. It is the atmosphere you carry with you. Most people think of empathy as a weakness or a soft trait. In the world of emotional authority, empathy is a high-level surveillance tool. It is the ability to read the emotional undercurrents of the person in front of you without getting swept away by them. Emotional authority requires detached empathy. You must be able to see exactly why someone is angry, why they are insecure, or what they are trying to hide, but you must remain as cold as a surgeon. When you understand someone's emotional triggers, they can no longer use them against you. Instead, you gain a subtle control over the interaction. By knowing what they fear, you know exactly where their boundaries are. While they are reacting to your silence, you are mapping their mind. This level of insight allows you to speak directly to their insecurities without ever mentioning them. You become the person who sees through everyone. This creates an aura of intimidation that is impossible to fight because you aren't attacking their arguments. You are dismantling their internal foundation. One of the most powerful positions you can occupy in any social hierarchy is the position of the judge. In every interaction, someone is subconsciously asking for permission or approval, and someone is giving it. The person who gives or withholds approval holds the emotional authority. The silent verdict is the act of observing someone's behavior and refusing to give any immediate feedback. When someone tries to impress you, tell a joke, or explain a mistake, do not react with a smile or a nod. Instead, simply maintain a neutral, penetrating gaze for 2 seconds longer than is comfortable. This silence is perceived as a verdict in progress. Because you haven't validated them, their brain assumes you are judging them. They begin to feel a frantic need to fix the silence. They will keep talking, offer more information, or even retract their previous statements. By simply holding your gaze and remaining silent, you have forced them into a submissive posture. You have become the authority figure they are trying to satisfy. The world moves at a frantic pace. Most people are high-velocity reactors. They move fast, talk fast, and think fast because they are driven by anxiety. To project absolute authority, you must deliberately desynchronize yourself from the crowd. You must operate at a lower frequency. Think of the difference between a servant and a king. A servant rushes to open the door. The king walks slowly because he knows the door will wait for him. This is not about being lazy. It is about economic movement. When you are challenged or when a crisis occurs, your first instinct will be to speed up. Resist it. Deliberately slow down your breathing. Slow down your blink rate. If you have to turn your head to look at someone, do it slowly. This slowness of the apex communicates that you are in a state of total safety. It signals that you are the most dangerous person in the room because you are the only one who isn't afraid of the passing seconds. This disruption of the social rhythm forces everyone else to slow down to match you, effectively putting you in control of the time in the room. Nothing destroys authority faster than an explanation. When you explain your decisions, your motives, or your lifestyle to someone who hasn't earned that right, you are effectively saying, "I recognize your right to judge me, and I am submitting my evidence for your approval." Emotional authority is built on the power of because. Your reasons are your own. If you decide not to attend an event, "I can't make it" is a full sentence. If you decide to change a plan, you don't need a 3-paragraph apology. The moment you start explaining, you lose the high ground. You become available for debate. A person of authority is not a subject of debate. When you state a boundary or a decision without an explanation, you create a hard border. It signals that your will is a force of nature, not a topic for discussion. This lack of transparency creates a sense of mystery and weight. People stop questioning you because they realize that your internal citadel has no back door. Authority is not contained within the skin. It extends to the air around you. Most people occupy as little space as possible because they are subconsciously trying to avoid conflict. They keep their elbows in, their legs crossed, and their movements small. This is a prey posture. The man of emotional authority understands spatial dominance. This isn't about being obnoxious or spreading out aggressively. It's about relaxed expansion. When you sit, occupy the space as if you own the entire building. Let your limbs be loose and heavy. When you place an object on a table, do it with a sense of permanent ownership. This spatial confidence signals to the primitive brain of others that you are the apex in this environment. You aren't scanning for threats because you are the threat. By taking up space comfortably, you are communicating that you are not afraid of being seen, challenged, or approached. You are inviting the world to deal with your presence, rather than trying to fit yourself into the world. The greatest tool of authority is the void. If you are always available, always responding, and always present, you become a commodity. and commodities are cheap. Value is created by scarcity. Strategic absence is the ability to withdraw your attention, your presence, or your response at the exact moment it is most desired. This is not a ghosting game. It is an exercise in sovereignty. When you are not there, people's imagination begins to work for you. They wonder what you are doing, who you are with, and why they don't have access to you. By being unavailable by default, you force people to raise their own value to earn a moment of your time. If you leave a room at the height of a conversation, or if you wait 24 hours to respond to a critical message that isn't actually an emergency, you are demonstrating that your internal schedule is more important than their external urgency. You are teaching the world that your presence is a privilege, not a right. Eye contact is the most direct bridge between two nervous systems. Most people use eye contact to search for clues. They look to see if the other person likes them, if they are angry, or if they are bored. This is a reactive gaze. Emotional authority uses the proactive gaze. This is a look that doesn't search for information, but stamps it. When someone speaks to you, look at them with a relaxed, unblinking focus. Do not look away first. Most social tension is broken when one person looks down or to the side. If you are the one who maintains the gaze, you are the one who holds the tension. There is a specific technique called the triangle. Look at one eye, then the other, then the third eye, the space just above the bridge of the nose. This gaze is perceived as analytical and high status. It tells the other person that you are not just looking at them, you are reading them. When you combine this gaze with a slight knowing silence, you create a psychological pressure that almost always forces the other person to start talking more or to look away in submission. The word no is the foundation of the inner citadel. Yes is a bridge, but no is a wall. A man who cannot say no has no borders, and a man with no borders has no authority. Most people say no with a sense of guilt. They soften it. I'd love to, but maybe next time. I'm so sorry, but this softening is a leak in your authority. It shows that you are afraid of the consequences of your own boundaries. A person of emotional authority says no as a complete sentence. No justification, no apology, no softening. When you say no with total conviction and zero explanation, you are signaling that your time, your energy, and your values are not up for negotiation. People may find it jarring at first, but they will instinctively respect you more. They realize that when you do say yes, it actually means something because your no is ironclad. Most people's emotional authority evaporates the moment things go wrong. When a project fails, an argument escalates, or an emergency happens, their pulse spikes, their voice rises, and they begin to leak panic. In a crisis, the social hierarchy is instantly reset. The room looks for one thing, the person who is the least moved by the chaos. Authority in a crisis is not about having the perfect plan. It is about having the perfect composure. If everyone is running, you must walk. If everyone is shouting, you must speak in a low, controlled whisper. This contrast creates a massive psychological anchor. By refusing to match the frequency of the crisis, you signal that you are above it. This makes you the default leader. People will stop their own panic just to watch you, trying to figure out why you aren't afraid. Your calmness becomes a shield for everyone else. This is the ultimate test of the inner citadel. Can you remain a statue while the world around you is on fire? If you can, your authority becomes legendary. There is a fundamental law in human psychology. Respect is like a shadow. If you chase it, it runs away. If you stand still, it settles at your feet. Most people are respect hunters. They do things specifically to be liked, to be thought of as alpha, or to be seen as successful. But the very act of trying to get respect proves that you don't believe you already have it. It is a declaration of neediness, and neediness is the poison of authority. Emotional authority is built on outcome independence. You must reach a state where the respect of others is a pleasant side effect, but never the goal. When you truly do not care if the person in front of you likes you or not, you gain a terrifying level of power. You are no longer hackable. They can't use praise to manipulate you, and they can't use criticism to wound you. This indifference is the highest form of status. People instinctively respect those who seem to require nothing from them. Every move a man of authority makes is backed by intent. Most people move and speak with static, meaningless gestures, filler words like and like, and wandering eyes. This static blurs their presence. To command authority, you must eliminate the static. Every time you shift your weight, every time you reach for a glass of water, every time you start a sentence, do it with 100% intent. If you decide to look at someone, look at them fully. If you decide to remain silent, let the silence be absolute. This economy of action makes you appear more deliberate and, therefore, more dangerous. People begin to feel that everything you do is part of a larger, hidden plan. They stop trying to predict you and start trying to stay out of your way. Your intent becomes a physical force that clears the path before you even speak. Ultimately, emotional authority is not about controlling others. That is a byproduct. It is about the absolute, uncompromising control of yourself. The world is a giant machine designed to provoke a reaction from you. Advertisements want your desire. News wants your fear. Social media wants your envy. Politicians want your anger. If you give in to any of these, you are a slave. You are a component in someone else's machine. Self-sovereignty means you are the only one with the keys to your emotional state. You choose your battles. You choose your reactions. You choose your silence. When you achieve this, you don't need to act authoritative. You are authority. You are the inner citadel, a fortress that stands unmoved while the tides of the world crash against its walls and eventually recede, defeated. Your authority leaks through the small cracks in your speech. Most people use softener words to avoid appearing too blunt or aggressive, but in the world of emotional authority, softness is perceived as ambiguity and a lack of conviction. To sound weighty, you must surgically remove the virus words that signal insecurity. Delete phrases like, "I just wanted to say," "I feel like," "to be honest," or "sorry to bother you." When you say, "I just wanted," you are minimizing your intent before you've even expressed it. When you say, "I feel like," you are turning a potential fact into a subjective whim. When you apologize for your presence, you are admitting that the other person's time is more valuable than your own. A person of authority speaks in declarations, not suggestions. Instead of saying, "I feel like this won't work," say, "This will not work." It is a two-word difference, but the shift in status is monumental. By removing the clutter, you make your speech dense. Every word becomes as heavy as lead. People listen more intently because they know you do not waste oxygen on filler. Questions are a powerful weapon, but most people use them to seek information or approval. A person with emotional authority uses questions to seize control of the frame. The most powerful question is the one for which you do not expect an immediate answer. If someone asks you a foolish or provocative question, do not answer it. Instead, reflect it back in a deeper, more analytical form. For example, if someone tries to undermine you, ask, "What made you feel the need to focus on that specific point right now?" And most importantly, once you have asked the question, stay silent. Do not try to relieve the other person's discomfort. Let them struggle in the silence you've created. The first person to break the silence after a sharp question loses the round. Holding the pause after your question is a masterclass in dominance. You force the other person into the role of a student answering to a teacher. We have discussed the gaze, but we must go deeper into the mechanics of how eye contact creates captivity. There is a phenomenon called mutual fixation. When you look at someone calmly for an extended period, their brain activates the same zones associated with both intense attraction and intense danger. It creates immense emotional pressure. Most people break eye contact after 2 or 3 seconds because they cannot handle the intensity. If you hold that gaze longer, 7 to 10 seconds while speaking, and even longer while listening, you are effectively hacking their nervous system. The secret is to avoid the predatory or angry stare. A gaze that is too intense shows effort, and effort is low status. Your gaze should be relaxed, as if you are looking at a landscape or a dull painting in a museum. This is the look of superiority. You are observing, but you are not impressed. This disarms people more than any display of aggression ever could. People will test your citadel constantly. It is an instinctive process. The world wants to know if you are the real deal or if you are just wearing a mask. These tests come in the form of friendly jabs, small delays in meeting you, or attempts to ignore your requests. Emotional authority requires an immediate and emotionless reaction to boundary violations. You do not need to shout. You simply need to acknowledge the breach. If someone interrupts you, do not try to speak over them. Simply stop, wait for them to finish, hold a 2-second pause, and continue exactly where you left off, as if their interruption never happened. If someone shows disrespect, look at them with mild confusion, as you would a broken appliance. Your reaction should communicate. This behavior is below my standards, and I will not engage with it. Once people realize your boundaries are not suggestions but laws of physics, they will stop testing them. The moment you enter into a competition with someone, you have already admitted that you are equals. Competition is a lateral movement. It is for those who believe that there is a limited supply of status, resources, or respect. But for the man of emotional authority, there is no competition, because there is only one you. When you try to outdo someone, you are letting them set the terms of the engagement. If they act tough, you try to act tougher. If they show off, you try to show off more. You are being controlled by their actions. The inner citadel is built on vertical authority. You don't look left or right. You only look at your own standards. When someone tries to compete with you, the most authoritative response is to not even acknowledge the race. When they boast, you listen with a polite but distant smile, as if you are watching a child play with toys. By refusing to compete, you signal that you occupy a level where their metrics of success simply don't apply. You aren't winning their game. You are playing a different one entirely. The root of all emotional reactivity is attachment. You react because you are afraid to lose something: a person's opinion, a job, a reputation, or a sense of comfort. Fear is the leak that drains your authority. Emotional authority is perfected through strategic detachment. This doesn't mean you don't care about anything. It means you are not dependent on anything. You must be willing to walk away from any table, any conversation, and any relationship at any moment if it violates your core principles. When people feel that you are willing to lose them, they lose their power over you. They realize that they cannot hold you hostage with their moods or their threats. This freedom to leave creates a massive psychological vacuum. Ironically, the more you are willing to let go of people, the more they will fight to stay in your orbit. Your lack of attachment is perceived as immense strength, because only a person with a massive internal reservoir of value can afford to be unattached to external validation. In every interaction, there is a 0 point. This is the state of total neutrality. Most people are polarized. They are either overly positive, seeking approval, or overly negative, being defensive. Both poles are high energy and low status. The person of authority operates from the 0 point. When you receive good news, you don't over-celebrate. When you receive bad news, you don't lament. You maintain a stoic baseline. This consistency is what makes you an authority figure. If people can predict exactly how to make you happy or how to make you sad, they can play you like an instrument. But when you stay at the 0 point, you are an enigma. They can't find the buttons to push. This forces them to be more careful and respectful around you. They start to mirror your calmness, hoping to find a clue as to what moves you. But nothing moves you except your own will. Certainty is the most contagious emotion in the human repertoire. If two people are arguing, and one has 90% logic but 10% certainty, while the other has 10% logic but 90% certainty, the crowd will follow the one who is certain. However, authority-level certainty is not loud or aggressive. Loud certainty is usually a mask for deep-seated insecurity. Real certainty is quiet. It is the matter-of-fact tone. It is the way you say, "The sun is hot," or "The grass is green." There is no need to argue for these things because they are self-evident. When you speak your truth, do not use qualifiers. Do not say, "I think," "maybe," or "in my opinion." Just state the observation. If someone disagrees, don't rush to defend it. Just look at them and wait. Your silence in the face of their disagreement communicates that your certainty is so high that their doubt doesn't even register as a threat. You aren't trying to convince them. You are simply stating the way it is. Authority is not a concept. It is a physical reality. If your words say, "I am in control," but your nervous system says, "I am hunted," the world will believe your nervous system. To project emotional authority, you must master the biomechanics of a high-status organism. The first rule is cervical stability. Watch people in a state of high anxiety. Their heads move constantly, scanning the environment, nodding for approval, or tilting in submission. A person of authority has a still head. When you speak, your head should not move to emphasize your points. Let your words do the work. When you turn to look at someone, turn your entire torso, not just your neck. This global movement signals that you are a massive, unified entity that does not react to small stimuli. The second rule is the gravity of limbs. High-status individuals have heavy arms and legs. They do not fidget. They do not tap their fingers, and they do not adjust their posture every 30 seconds. When you place your hands on a table, they stay there. This stillness communicates that you are comfortable with the space you occupy. It tells the observers that you are at the top of the food chain, because only a predator can afford to be completely still in an open environment. Most social interactions are designed to reduce tension. People smile to be liked, they talk to fill silences, and they look away to avoid confrontation. Emotional authority is the ability to increase tension and remain perfectly comfortable within it. One of the most effective ways to exert pressure is the tactical delay. When someone finishes speaking, do not respond immediately. Look at them for 3 seconds as if you are weighing their entire soul. This creates a vacuum. In that vacuum, the other person's insecurities will rise to the surface. They will feel the urge to start talking again, to clarify their point, or to apologize. By holding that pressure, you are testing their fortress. If they break and start rambling, you have won the frame. If they can sit in the silence with you, you have found an equal. Either way, you are the one who initiated the test. You are the one who decided that the normal rules of polite conversation do not apply to you. We have discussed pacing, but we must now discuss the source of your voice. Most people speak from their throat or their mouth. This creates a thin, nasal, or tight sound that signals tension and high cortisol. Emotional authority speaks from the diaphragm. A deep, resonant voice is a biological signal of high testosterone and low stress. It vibrates at a frequency that the human ear instinctively associates with protection and power. To achieve this, you must breathe into your belly, not your chest. When you speak, imagine your words are sinking into the floor rather than floating into the air. Do not try to reach for the other person with your voice. Let them lean in to hear you. If you speak too loudly, you are trying too hard. If you speak with a low, controlled resonance, you are forcing the world to quiet down to catch your frequency. This is the subvocal command, a sound that bypasses the logical mind and speaks directly to the subconscious. There is a concept in psychology called emotional contagion. If you are around a panicked person, you begin to feel panic. If you are around an angry person, you begin to feel anger. Most people are like open windows. Any wind that blows outside moves the curtains inside. The man of emotional authority is a closed system. You must build an invisible wall between your internal state and the external environment. This is achieved through a technique called mental labeling. When someone tries to provoke you, do not experience the provocation. Label it. Instead of thinking, "He is making me angry," think, "He is attempting a provocation." By labeling the action, you turn a subjective experience into an objective observation. You become a scientist observing a specimen. This detachment is the ultimate protection for your inner citadel. It allows you to stay cold and analytical while everyone else is drowning in their own chemicals. When you are the only one who cannot be infected by the emotions of the room, you become the only one fit to lead it. The greatest trap for any aspiring authority is the desire to be liked. In our social media-driven world, we are conditioned to believe that popularity equals power. But popularity is fragile. It depends on the whims of the crowd. True emotional authority is built on respect, not affection. When you try to be likable, you subconsciously adjust your behavior to suit others. You smile when you aren't happy. You agree when you have doubts, and you soften your edges to avoid offending anyone. This makes you pliable. People may like you, but they will never fear crossing you. And if they don't fear crossing you, they do not truly respect your authority. The man of authority is willing to be the villain in someone else's story. He understands that being respected for his consistency is 1,000 times more valuable than being liked for his compliance. Stop trying to win hearts. Start commanding attention through your unwavering adherence to your own principles. When you stop caring whether you are liked, you become the only person in the room who is truly free. There is a specific type of humor that reinforces authority: high-status irony. Most people use humor to break tension or to make others feel comfortable. They self-deprecate, they play the clown, or they laugh too hard at other people's jokes to show they are part of the group. Authority-level humor is different. It is used to show that you are so comfortable in a high-pressure situation that you can afford to find it amusing. It is a detached wit. It isn't meant to make people laugh. It's meant to show that you are not intimidated by the gravity of the moment. When someone tries to insult or provoke you, a simple, dry observation, delivered with a slight, knowing smirk, is more devastating than 100-word rebuttal. It signals that their attack is so insignificant that it has become a source of mild entertainment for you. You aren't laughing with them. You are observing their behavior from a higher vantage point. This is the ultimate display of emotional authority. The ability to find the world's chaos entertaining rather than threatening. Emotional authority is not a mask you wear. It is the person you become when you stop seeking permission to exist. It is the result of thousands of small decisions. The decision to stay silent when you want to scream. The decision to stay still when you want to fidget. And the decision to remain indifferent when the world demands your reaction. The walls of your inner citadel are built from these moments of self-control. Every time you hold your frame, a stone is laid. Every time you refuse to be moved by external chaos, the mortar sets. Eventually, you become untouchable. The world will try to break you. It will try to test your silence and challenge your peace. Let it try. From the height of your citadel, you aren't looking for a fight, and you aren't looking for approval. You are simply watching the storm recede, remaining exactly as you were, unmoved, unbothered, and absolute.